What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So, Boris Johnson has launched a £500,000 crowdfund for Big Ben to bong for Brexit. The crowdfunding page, as far as I'm aware, has not yet been set up, and the first reports about this actually said that he was asking the public to set it up. So I did set one up, but it turns out they are going to do it, so I don't need to, and I'm very happy about that, because it would have been a complete ball ache. I have enough shit to deal with without having to deal with running a crowdfunding for something like that. That is for sure. But these reports are stemming from a BBC interview he did this morning, which we will take a look at, along with the Telegraph's article on the interview itself. The Telegraph's article headlines: Boris Johnson launches £500,000 crowdfund for Big Ben to bong for Brexit, which is an entirely misleading headline because he hasn't launched jack diddly squat yet. He has only said that they are planning to. Now, it took me less than 5 minutes to set up my crowdfund for it, that I won't link in this because I'm hoping they do their own. So I really don't know how the government, with endless amounts of staff, didn't manage to set one up in a few minutes just like I did myself. So hopefully this is just not bluff and bluster. The article reads, Boris Johnson has announced the government will run a crowdfunding campaign to raise money for Big Ben to bong at 11 PM on January 31st to celebrate the UK's exit from the EU. Mr Johnson said the public should be able to bung a bob for a Big Ben bong by contributing to the £500,000 cost of a one-off chime while the tower that houses the bell undergoes restoration works. The Prime Minister's intervention in the campaign by Eurosceptic backbenchers for the bell to chime is the latest in a long-running saga that stretches back to John Bercow's tenure as Speaker of Remain. One Tory Brexiteer, Mark Francois, pledged £1,000 to the campaign on Tuesday morning. The 13.7-tonne bell is housed in the Elizabeth Tower at the north end of the Palace of Westminster, which is currently undergoing a multi-million-pound restoration. Since August last year, the bell has only chimed for national events, such as Remembrance Sunday and the New Year. Well, last I checked, Brexit is a national event. Therefore, it should be chimed for anyway, but I am more than willing to put money into the pot to make sure that it happens on the 31st of January, not only for the country, but because I personally hope to attend the celebrations down there myself. Its mechanism has been silenced to protect the hearing of construction workers inside the tower, and it was previously thought the cost of ringing the bell would be prohibitive. But the Prime Minister's announcement that the government will oversee collection of money from the public suggests the funds could be raised in time for preparations to be made, and I really hope it does. Rather than reading what Boris Johnson has actually said, let's take a look at the BBC interview from earlier today and hear it from the horse's mouth.
Is start working with our friends and partners around the world, not just with the EU. We're going to start building new relationships with friends and partners around the world. Well, the UK grows to greatness because of our championing of global free trade. That was how this country first became prosperous. We're going to rediscover that gene, and we're going to be out there in Geneva, in the WTO, leading the cause of global free trade. And whatever people say about it, free trade has done more to lift billions of people around the world out of poverty than anything else. And that is why I believe in it. And we can do fantastic deals, not just with the EU, but with countries around the world. That work begins on February the 1st.
People this morning might have seen in their newspapers a story about the Brexit bongs at Big Ben.
Bongs,
Do you think there should be bongs on
Well, the bongs,
January the 31st?
The bongs cost the bongs.
Right, so there was Boris Johnson actually saying he wants the public to help fund it, since of course Parliament rejected the idea on Monday. And as the Telegraph article continues here, it says it could take 2 weeks to replace the floor underneath the bell to allow it to ring, meaning the money must be raised in the next 3 days. So the government really needs to get their fucking skates on, if you ask me. Like I said a moment ago, it took me 5 minutes to set my one up. Why haven't they done the same before coming on the BBC this morning? Just goes to show how useless governments are. It doesn't matter what party it is, they're always slow as fuck when it actually comes to it. Lord Ashcroft, a major Tory donor, has said he will underwrite the campaign, while LBC Radio's Nick Ferrari has pledged £1,000 himself. Mark Francois, who is leading the MP's calls for Big Ben to chime, has said he will match the £1,000 and called on other broadcasters to do the same. Well, I doubt there'll be many broadcasters from the BBC that will be doing that. Let me tell you that for nothing. He told The Telegraph, having seen the Prime Minister's interview on BBC Breakfast, I am delighted to learn that the government will be establishing a crowdfunding scheme so that people around the country who wish to contribute to marking this historic act of freedom can do so voluntarily. And that's a good thing they should do. But like I've said many times, they need to hurry up. We ain't got all day. Yet again, the naysayers of the British establishment have been defeated by people power, and it now seems highly likely that the most famous clock in the world will chime to mark the beginning of global Britain. Well done, Prime Minister. And I will say yes, that Big Ben should bong for Brexit. And so does 82% of other people. But there you have it, guys. I will update this video and post it in the community page, or maybe do another video when the crowdfunding link is actually given out to people. But as it stands, the government have still not done one, even though, like I said, I managed to make one in 5 minutes. That is now a complete waste of time, since the first reports about it was that the government had asked other people to crowdfund it, not that they actually planned to set up the crowdfunding campaign themselves. So, like I've said many times, let's hope they actually hurry up. But on that note, guys, I will end the video there. As some of you will know, I have started doing live streams and uploading gaming content on my second channel. If you want to join me over there to have a chat in real time during one of my live streams, have an interest in gaming content on YouTube, or just want to support me over there because you're an absolute legend, then the links will be down in the video description and as a pinned comment. I hope to see you all there. Now, as always, before I go, I want to thank our YouTube, PayPal, Patreon and Subscribestar members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Leave a like, subscribe with a notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot. And I will see you all in the next one.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors. Slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires. And that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going and we are glad to be going. We're off.
Ramon! Ramon!